And welcome to the M2 podcast. How's it going, everybody? This is the show where we cover esports and personalities, gaming industry related news, new and upcoming games, and technology innovation. This week, we are going to be covering Gamescom with your host. My name is Michael Anthony. My co host right here is Mr. JK Heath, Kyle Heath. And pretty much what we like to do before we get into the news is just do a little recap. What have you been up to the last week, Kyle?
Oh, this last week. You want to know
This
my
last
main?
week.
You want to know what my main game was this last week?
Was it Smite?
No, it was not. You'd be surprised. I ventured out a little bit. I can't remember if I mentioned
Oh,
it last week,
snap. No, yeah, where'd
but
you go? Where'd you go?
but I got back into now. You're gonna hear this name. It's probably gonna hit you. I don't know if you played it or
Oh.
not, but it was Realm Royale. Do you remember this game?
Dude, I haven't seen or heard that game in a long time.
Dude,
I,
it's still in the high res family,
oh yeah.
But yeah, but Realm Royale Reforged was announced recently, so they apparently did some patches to it, and they're like kind of just bringing it back, and it's got a little bit of a player base again. So we hopped
Cool.
on that, and yeah, we've been playing that. It's actually been a lot of fun. It's just been like I don't know, just playing different BR, and there's not like a bunch of stuff in it, so it's not overly complicated. But there's still some like cool mechanics and whatnot. So it's fun to like play and try and get better at. So just been messing around on that. They only have like solos and trios. They don't have duos. Don't have squads. It's very interesting.
Not bad
But
though. That's
yeah,
not bad though.
still a lot of fun though. That's been my main game this week aside from a little bit of the usual. But I think I ventured out. Yeah, because like most of the weekend I was busy, so just doing IRL stuff. So didn't really
Yeah,
get
I
much
feel
gaming
that.
in that weekend, but still playing during the week when I can. So yeah, that was it for the most part. What about you, Mike?
Just about the same thing. Like not Realm Royale, but like IRL stuff was taking up a lot of my time, so I didn't really get much of a chance to sit down and play some games. I've been working on essentially like a study guide, cheat sheet, and everything going on with Halo Infinite because we're trying to take the team out there this month. The recording is September 1st, so the actual tournament's on the 26th, or not the 26th, but like that weekend coming up. So I'm trying to just get prepared for that, help the guys out. Not much like real gaming on new stuff. Like I got on Rocket League a little bit, played around there, just had some fun. I've been watching a buttload of YouTube videos, a ton of like
Hmm.
GameSprout. You ever watch GameSprout?
I haven't heard about GameSprout in a while, but yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
they still make content. They're still shipping out like videos every couple of days. So I was
Nice.
watching a bunch of that. I was watching game ranks and just like trying to stay informed. Catching up on Gamescom, watching
Yep.
the trailers, and
Oh yeah.
checking into all the games. So I think I've been more of a consumer than I have been of a consumer of content more so than like a gamer
Yeah.
this last week.
I'm right there with you. I don't know. Dude, I've been on a podcast kick lately, so like, especially during work and stuff, I'll just like
Mhm.
throw on some like comedian podcasts, and it's been great. But that's been like my main YouTube like rabbit hole lately. That stuff.
Yeah.
So
See, I go in the opposite. Like I'm on the opposite wavelength as you right now. So I've always listened to like podcasts and like just random videos of like trying to learn stuff, right? Like that I find interesting. And right now I've gotten tired of listening to the same content as like a podcast format. And I'm 100% on this like music kick. Like I'm going back and I'm listening to bands I haven't listened to in like a year.
nice,
And I'm
nice.
like, dude, I really want to go to a show. Like I haven't been to a show in a while. So
Sir.
I gotta get out there and go see a show of like a band I really love. You know those bands you just know every single word, every single
Yeah.
lyric?
Yeah.
That's what I want to go check out.
Hey, I get to do that this coming weekend, so I'm feeling you there, man.
That's a fact. That's a
Feeling
fact.
you there. So it's gonna be nice. So Labor Day
Mm.
weekend about to hit. I haven't done anything. I can't remember the last time I actually did anything like Labor Day weekend that was like fun or anything. Kind of just like for the most part, just kind of chilled.
Yeah.
But we
It'll
changed
be
it
cool
up
to see
this
you
year,
guys.
dude. Yeah, yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
cool. I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun time. Um, but yeah, so got some things going on over the weekend, but this isn't so much about what happened or what's going to be happening this weekend, right, Mike? We we
No.
uh we got to talk about Gamescom. We didn't even talk about it last week. I mean, it's been
We
you
tried
know
not to. I
yeah
think we hinted on a few like small known games that were already like in the works, like Splatoon 3 or Dead Island 2 was rumored at
yeah
that point.
I think so yeah
But we didn't really get into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think the only announcement we kind of talked about was the PlayStation Pro controller. They announced that
yeah,
on Open
that's
Night
right.
Live, but
Mhm.
other than that, yeah, I mean, Opening Night Live, I mean, we're since we could be covering that for the most part, kind of highlighting that, games we think you look forward to and games we find interesting. So it's going to be kind of a review roundup of that type of stuff and just giving our thoughts on everything. And I think it's safe to say it's probably majority. I think there was like a future game show and like an Xbox like more in-depth Xbox showcase that happened of like a lot of their flagship titles.
Yeah.
We won't be covering that, I don't think necessarily, and at least not in depth. It's mainly just gonna be around opening night live and kind of the announcements surrounding that. So that will be a majority of that. There is one slight update I wanted to give for hardware stuff, and we'll get into
Mhm.
that first because I think this is actually something we've been waiting for a while. So, AMD, we've been hearing like, oh,
Yeah.
those chips are coming soon, the Ryzen 7000 series, and sure enough, this week, there was announcements made about and all the details we've been like waiting on Ryzen 7000 series. So, in a Together We Advance PC live stream, this was on Monday, those top of the week. Ryzen finally announced the next flagship 7000 series CPUs. So we're talking everything from speed to price to um, TDP to their like just everything, like everything you want to know about these things. They went in depth, talking about the top two Ryzen 9 processors, the flagship Ryzen 7 and the flagship Ryzen 5. Um, so it looks like the price range in terms. So if you were to get Ryzen 5 7600X, which is the kind of the baseline for now, that's a 6-core, 12-thread. Base clock is 4.7 gigahertz, and then they can boost clocks up to 5.3 on Ryzen 5. That's only $300. Like that's it. Trying to get a Ryzen 5. Ooh,
That's
hey,
insane. Insane.
insane, man. The Ryzen 7 the 7700X. That's an 8-core, 16-thread processor with a 4.5 gigahertz base clock and a 5.4 up to 5.4 turbo. Um, and it has the keep in mind that so the TDP of the Ryzen 7 and the Ryzen 5, they're only 105 watts, which I think is like pretty standard across how it's been for Ryzen. I think for the most part. Um,
Yeah.
However, if we go to the Ryzen 9, so we had the Ryzen 9 7900X and the 7950X. The TDP actually goes up to 170, so it's a pretty big jump to the Ryzen 9 processors. But they are 12 core, 24 thread, and 16 core, 32 thread, respectively, with base clocks of 4.7 and 4.5, going all the way up to 5.6 and 5.7 in the turbo end, and almost double the cache, I think, from the lower models. So, and the price ranges are $300, $400, $550, and $700 at retail. They will all be available on September 27th. So end of the month, right around the time the Halo event happens, which all the boys be at. So,
Yeah.
should be an interesting weekend. But yeah, this is there were some more graphics they went into in terms of the IPC uplift and max frequencies and the total single thread performance. Of course, they give you all these numbers and how like much better it is. But as especially all tech YouTubers, they'll tell you like always this is manufacturer numbers. So just until we actually test and they actually see, it's safe to take these maybe with a grain of salt. So but yeah, I mean overall, they also talk about chaos V-rays and energy efficiency and like a bunch of other stuff. It's like may not be as relevant to the average gamer, but there's definitely some improvements there. So um, overall, it's just good to see. It's good to see this stuff. I mean, I think the biggest another huge takeaway from this is that they are moving away from AM4 socket and moving on to AM5 socket, which is kind of the more like Intel
Right.
inspired side. There's no more pins on the bottom of the CPU that you could potentially bend and break that would brick your CPU. So less to worry there. They did say that AM5 motherboards, the pricing will start at 125, and they're going to be supported at least until 2025. Hopefully longer. We'll see. I mean, this latest AM4 was supported since 2017, so it had about a 5-year life cycle. We may
Right.
see something less, may see something more, depending on the advancement of technology and where we're at in 3 years. I feel like they're ready to move on from that, but it's good to know that It says coincidentally, the Zen 5 is predicted to launch in 2024, so that's after this. Yeah, but pretty crazy stuff. I mean, they're always looking ahead. And they're always way ahead of. Um, I feel like they're always working 2 generations ahead, like when it comes to hardware. At least that's what it feels like. So, but very good news overall. Ryzen 7, it's available at the end of this month. You can start building your boards, getting that nice
Yeah,
DDR5. Get that nice
it's
DDR5
insane.
RAM, dude. Oh, it's getting crazy, Mike. We're here, man. We're almost here. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I think 3 4 months. I mean, you can have the gaming PC of your dreams. You're gonna be spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
I gotta admit that. Like the prices are actually pretty affordable when you compare it directly to Intel for what you're getting, right? So like
right.
for people that don't understand everything that we're saying, is Intel has kind of been slacking and AMD, like the main thing that Intel had over AMD was the single clock uh performance, like the speed and the
Hmm.
frequency that they could get, which made it ideal for gamers, right? That's why most like gamers have Intel CPUs, I think. So AMD finally figured out how to do the single core. So not only do they have like the 6, 8, 12, 16 core that's ridiculously fast, they can also
Yeah.
operate in a single core fashion for gamers as well. And it's faster than Intel now.
It's crazy,
So
right?
and
Oh
it's
man.
pretty much cheaper. Like these numbers are kind of wild.
Yeah,
So I think this is
definitely.
going to drive Intel to bounce back and get faster for sure. And
Sure,
AMD
man.
is pretty good at like supporting their software, their gen or their hardware for 5 plus years. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna promote competition. Always good. Keep Intel on
mhm.
their toes. Um, but yeah, I mean that's all there really is to kind of report on this. If you do want to get a new rig, I mean, it's for the most part, especially if you're DDR4. I mean, you're gonna have to get a new CPU, a new motherboard, and new RAM at the very least. And then
Right.
of course, depending if you have an old GPU and that could bottleneck your PC, you may have to end up getting a new GPU. So it could be a trickle down effect. Unless you have a newer one, then you should be fine. Um, but yeah, it's maybe a little bit on the pricier side in terms of an upgrade, but performance is going to be insane if you have like a 6+ year old PC. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
um,
it's going to be good. I kind of want to go with the 7700X. If it's me,
yeah,
I'm thinking it'd
yeah,
be cool to upgrade.
dude. So something about the 7900X, like, dude, just to have a Ryzen 9. Like, I've always wanted a 9, whether it's an i9 or a Ryzen 9. Oh man,
Yeah.
something about that. Just I feel like it would just hit. May not be necessary for
Favorite
my
number's 9.
tasks, but I mean, it's kind of what I feel like when you get to Ryzen 9 or like an i9, you're kind of just buying it to just say you have it, like more so
Yeah.
than the actual like, what is the I guess I'm trying to think of the word for that when you're buying up, but it's like but
Uh,
um
the
what am I
the
thinking of?
big term that people like to use is lifestyle creep.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
that's
referring
no, that's not
to?
what I'm
So
thinking of.
it's
What am I thinking of?
oh, okay.
Um, diminishing returns. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
So
oh, oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
Ryzen 9, especially once you get up there, it's like, especially for the average, like for someone who's just really gaming on it, that's yeah,
oh, yeah,
it's
I
may
mean,
not be worth the
yeah.
$150. But if you want to say you have a Ryzen 9, it's worth it. So
Well, the hilarity of what we're talking about here is every single one of these $300 now gets you 4.7 gigahertz stock
yeah,
clock.
yeah,
That is more
yeah,
than enough for every title.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, well more like, that's nuts. The thing that's kinda absolutely worth noting is the power draw is 170 watts for a Ryzen 9. And that comes on the heels of what we've heard rumored, like the RTX 40 series,
Yeah,
4000 series is like 400 watts or
something
something.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's like what the initial
Yes.
rumors were.
So you're gonna need a kilowatt power
Yeah,
supply.
I mean, easily you're gonna need one at
Yeah.
least.
Like
You know.
it's gonna be wild.
That's the other thing too, is like, yeah, I mean, I saw videos on it too, and they were mentioning the power. It's like, it's I think AMD was kind of trying to justify in the presentation that they're not just like doing more power for the sake of just having more power. It's like they actually had some justification behind it of why, like, it may
Right.
be a little higher than people want, but
I
yeah,
mean, it's fast.
it's up there.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was pretty exciting news just to hear over the last week. The news dropped like 2 days ago, and I saw all these tech YouTubers. They must have been sitting on these videos for a while because they were just like, okay, everything releases once the AMD like
Yeah,
uh like press conference launched.
yeah.
They're really quick with it.
Oh yeah, embargoes, baby.
Yes, sir.
But we no longer have to worry about embargoes from Gamescom leaks and rumors because it is time. It's time to
Yes,
break this
sir.
down, Mike. All right.
All right.
For those listening, I hope you have at least 45 minutes. Just sit back, relax. I'm about to walk you through all things Opening Night Live. At least our thoughts on what we thought about stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I was just gonna start off right off the top, Mike, with Everywhere. That game, the first game that they showed. It's
Yeah.
it's a little. It was a little odd when they were kind of describing it because it's very much like they're just like we're not really gonna tell you what it is, but it's
Yeah.
multi-world, and so it's kind of we're kind of presenting it as it's whatever you want it to be, kind of thing. It's like, which sounds intriguing, but also sounds scary in today's gaming climate. Um, so it's like I love this idea, but I don't know if I just love the idea and like I'm hoping for the actual game because like I just want more info on this. I guess is what I'm like trying to get at because it's like right now it's still you can tell it's very early and it's kind of just like I see what they're going for, but I'm apprehensive. So I don't know what your thoughts were on Everywhere.
Well, I guess for the people that are only listening, right? It's there's not much known about it,
Yeah,
and it's like so. What we do know is that it's going to be released sometime next year, right? In
yeah.
2023. It's an open world game, and it's built like they don't even technically have a publisher, but the developers build a robot boy.
Yeah,
I've
I
never heard of
no,
him before.
never heard of it.
Um, then like the description of the game from their website, and I'll read this word for word. Everywhere seamlessly blends gameplay, adventure, creativity, and discovery in an all new multi world gaming experience that redefines how players connect with one another and with the digital world around them.
Dude,
Do you have any idea what that means?
I don't know, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know I have no idea what they're getting at, but like at the same time, like I'm intrigued. Like I want to see what this is all about. And
All
they
right, all
show a
right.
little
So
bit. I mean, I'm showing a little bit here right now for the people watching on
yes,
video. Like you can see the kind of different worlds they're talking about, like kind of the interesting depth that this game could have. But it's also a teaser, so we don't see a whole lot.
it gives me, yeah. It's really hard to like because you can just assume whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
Maybe it's one of those kind of trailers where they're just like being as bland as possible, or not bland. That's the wrong. Broad, broad
yeah,
is the best way to say it. It's like they're trying to be as broad as possible to see like what sticks.
yeah,
It's like some of the graphics look similar to Sea of Thieves in a way, like the art
yeah.
style, but also it gives me vibes of like cyberpunk when it comes to like sociability, kind of.
Yeah.
And it also reminds me of just like Ready Player One.
It kind of
Like you can
does,
play
yeah.
and do whatever you want.
I mean, cause yeah, like they show like the sequence at the end where it's like it's in the logo. You're seeing like the different stuff. I mean, there's like racing, there's platforming, there's like shooting. Like, is this supposed to be like a jack of all trades kind of thing? Which scares me.
Yeah.
If it's a jack of all trades kind of, it's like, are they gonna get everything like right? Is everything gonna be kind of like, like what's the deal? But
Or
then the end of the trailer is like this weird like conspiracy looking Black Ops like campaign
yeah, yeah,
sequence. I'm
it's
like,
like
what's going on? Like, it's just so crazy. But yeah, time for a new world. That's your slogan. Yeah, I don't know. You caught my eye. I'll say that. I'm intrigued.
yeah, I'm hoping I hope it's new and exciting.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Definitely.
I want something very unique. Hopefully this is something that I've been looking for. We'll find out, but I do find it very, very weird how it's like it hasn't defined anything and they want to release in a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting. Um, interesting for sure.
Hey, man,
Uh
I'm on board. I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, I'll take it. I mean, they talked to the assistant game director too. He went a little I guess he went tried to talk about it a little bit more, but it's still kind of like I don't know. I'm interested to see more. I'll leave it at that. Um I know I know for me, Dune Awakening was like the next one. I was
Dude.
like, dude, this cinematic trailer looks sick, dude. Like, are you kidding me? I didn't even watch Dune. I'll be honest, I never saw the
You
movie.
didn't?
No, I didn't
Have
get a
you
chance.
ever you read the books or anything like that? Or
No, I
no?
mean, I saw like I think I saw the trailer for the movie, but I didn't read the books or anything like that. So I see the
Well,
world, but yeah,
what you see in the world is very Dune. It's very Dune.
hmm, yeah,
So you're basically on a spice world, which is why the guy's eyes are the same that color,
mm,
which is from the movie. And they're like giant worms in the sand, in the dunes,
yeah.
and you can ride them. They're called like I don't even remember what they're called, but it fits the aura. It's not a very long trailer. The graphics look really good.
Oh
I
yeah.
wonder if it's in Unreal Engine uh 5.
I feel
Be
like it's
kind of
gotta
cool.
be, dude. Look at this. Looks insanely good.
It looks real cool. Look
Um,
real good.
yeah. I mean, interesting enough, I don't know if you could read the description because like I didn't realize what type of game this was, and then I read about it, and I was like, whoa, like I just didn't expect it from the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, I'll read it. Okay, so Dune Awakening, excuse me, Dune Awakening combines the grittiness and creativity of survival games with the social interactivity of large-scale, persistent multiplayer games to create a unique and ambitious open-world survival MMO. Rise from survival to dominance in a vast and seamlessly accurate Arrakis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Arrakis shared by thousands of players.
Yeah. It's so weird because they
Uh,
did at the end of the trailer they talk about it too. But this is like it's an open world survival MMO, which I wasn't expecting when I saw that trailer. It's like I was like MMO, like I don't know, I just didn't get it from that. But I mean, those could be cinematic graphics, but I mean, if it's something like if you presented me an MMO with that kind of like graphical fidelity, dude, I don't care what universe is in, bro. I'm in. Like that's so sick.
have
I'm down to at
you?
least try
I
it
mean,
out. You know,
speaking of cinematics and MMOs, have you seen Star Wars: The Old Republic?
I have not.
You have
I don't think
not.
so. I mean, of course I know what you're talking about. I just haven't actually seen it.
Okay, you obviously know what Star Wars is.
Of course, yeah.
So, after the podcast, I'm gonna send you some videos that you have to watch, and then you're probably, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, they're gonna agree when I say this. You're gonna be stuck watching all the cinematics for at
Oh
least an hour.
baby, like a movie.
They're
You ever
like
seen that?
they're like
Oh,
they're
dude.
straight up like movies, man. They're
Oh man,
really good.
I'm in.
They're like each individual one is like a short story, kind of similar to like Overwatch. You ever watch the Overwatch cinematics?
Oh yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like that, but this is based in like the Star Wars universe.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I will certainly be sending that to you. And yeah, but basically, like I got to be real when it comes to these types of conferences and trailers in general. If I don't see gameplay, I hold back my hype.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm right there with you.
so
I'm right there
so
with you.
I'm holding it back, but I also am very intrigued by Everywhere and Dune Awakening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Intrigued to say the least. Um. Anyways, moving on a little bit. I know next up they talk about the PlayStation Pro controller. We discussed that last week. Won't go into that. However, the next thing to talk about is Callisto Protocol. They have some new gameplay they show off. Callisto Protocol, like it's the Dead Space inspired like space survival horror type of game that's coming out in December this year, which is like it's
yes,
nice to have a
not
2022
far at
release.
all, man.
It's nice to have a 20. I mean, this is we're talking 3 months away. So it's coming up. They show some gameplay and they show some mutators. I think they were showing some like enemies that can mutate and everything like that. Very interesting stuff there. It's just gory and just gorgeous, and I just want to play this game. I'll be honest. Like, it looks
This
very
is right up your alley.
yeah, for
This is
sure.
100% a game for you.
Mhm. I mean, everything I'm seeing from it makes me more and more interested. So December 2nd can't come sooner. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting
Yes,
too playing a
sir.
game like this in December because like if they made the Halloween window, it'd be like perfect. I feel like,
Oh, that's a good
but yeah,
point. Yeah,
it's
horror
like
games
right.
around Halloween are
Yeah,
this is yeah, survival horror. That's what this is. So
yeah,
it's like a space odyssey almost.
yeah. There's definitely it's definitely got that that horror aspect of like Dead Space. So um, oh man, just nice and I mean this mutation of this that we just like that we just saw. I mean it's crazy. Like you just he killed the enemy, but then the enemy just instantly like mutated into something even more like gross and more menacing. So
It's very, very gory too.
oh yeah, yeah. They
Very
don't hold
gory.
back, man. Um, it is crazy.
One of
Yeah.
the things that has basically like I miss just in games is the goriness because I feel like developers and publishers are always trying to get to the broader audience always.
Yeah.
And I think that diminishes a lot of the artwork that's in video games. It's like sometimes like you can't play Doom unless there's like hell. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right, yeah.
Like horrific things happening.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mortal Kombat. That's the style. Like and I feel like this is very much a true survival horror game. The graphics look fantastic. It's going to be on both PlayStation 4 and 5, the
Yeah.
original Xbox, or yeah, the Xbox One. Sorry, not the original Xbox. The Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S.
Yeah.
And it's got to be good, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of hype over it. We've seen several trailers, and I think the one for Gamescom has gone further than any of them when it comes to gameplay.
Yeah.
And it looks clean, man. It
Yeah.
looks
I mean
real clean.
it's cool. Like for me, it's from this. I mean, you see the death animation here. It's crazy. Like, dude, what was that?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think the big thing about this studio in particular is it's the CEO is Glenn Schofield. Which, for those who don't
Yes.
know Glenn Schofield, he was the first time I heard of Glenn Schofield and the first time I was introduced to him was finding out that he led Sledgehammer Games, which led Advanced Warfare. They were the first. That was the first COD they did because they enjoyed the Advanced Warfare kind of trio. So, or I guess the COD like studio trio. So that was the first I had heard of him. But of course, he like left Sledgehammer and now starting this. And I don't know, man, it looks good. I'm excited for it. December 2nd. I think it'll be good. I mean, I love that guy. So I think he makes good. I think he leads a good team and should be a good game.
Yeah. Oh, also the creator of Dead Space.
Yeah,
So,
because that was yeah, which I think they talk about in this too. Is
oh
is,
yeah, that's definitely
he was
something you
like
mentioned.
yeah, he was he was one of the he's one of the first people like that was working on Dead Space. So definitely inspired by that, and you could see you could see that in the trailers and whatnot. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, we could briefly touch on Lords of the Fallen. I this is something that it's a game that I probably personally won't end up playing. But I mean, this trailer was sick. I can't deny that. And it's that nice medieval like Souls, like Dark Souls kind of vibe that I liked. So
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen definitely it looks pretty good. Like I always love the cinematics. So it starts you off with basically a bat-looking creature that has three heads that's like flying at you, about to
yeah,
kill everything. It's kind of nuts. Like the cinematics are clean and they're very gory. It looks fantasy-ish, like ish.
yeah,
So I think it has a lot of potential, but again, it's a cinematic. You don't really know what's going on.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's the thing of like it's like when I see something like this, I immediately think of like Dark Souls and like, is this Souls like kind of thing? But I don't know Lords of the Fallen or that universe, so. But yeah,
I
I mean the trailer looks great. Dude. Cinematics on point.
yeah.
Also,
So
important thing to
go ahead.
note: PS5, Xbox Series X, Steam. I don't see no PS4 and Xbox One, which I am very happy with. I'm sorry, it's time to move on, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not holding back with this. I think the biggest thing about some of these trailers, which don't get me wrong, you want to hit an audience, but like we're at a point in the generation where we gotta start leaving people behind, dude. We gotta start chopping the heads. You know what I'm saying? It's about that
As
time,
FaZe
like
Banks said about 2 years ago, he said, "Go buy a PC, build your own PC." He said,
sir, listen
"Do
to the
not."
man.
Yeah, it was like some random fan asked me, was like, "What do you think about the new PlayStation coming?" And he goes, "Listen to me, buy a PC,
Yes, sir, dude. You should,
build
man.
one, man.
Should. It's a lot of
It'll
fun.
change everything. You'll never go back. Straight up, you'll never
Oh
go back."
man. Well, and but yeah, so it's good to see games that are sticking to the current gen and PC.
Yes.
And it look because it gives them that opportunity to build a truly great game that looks fantastic and plays well, and you unlock all the potential. And like these other games doing this cross-platform stuff, they're just getting held back, man. It's just is what it is, bro. I hate saying it, but this is true. So yeah,
It is very true. Um, yeah,
so yeah.
unfortunately.
Lords of the Fallen. I will briefly show just because it's so funny. So this is what I love about like Gamescom and just press conferences in general. Because we go from Lords of the Fallen, like, and then we immediately go to Moving
Moving
Out 2. This is
on.
like it's so different, like two completely different worlds, different genres, everything. But yeah, dude, Moving Out 2. They showed a little trailer for this. It's adorable, dude. This is a toaster. Become a fart. Like this is just like it's such kid humor, and I love it. Um, you have won at winning. Like, dude, it's like it's just so funny. Like seeing the trailer for this and just seeing this world because it's like like I feel like as an adult you could enjoy the game, but like kids are gonna love this. It's such a good universe.
Yeah, I think for people that don't have I'll just read the description of this game. So it's the sequel of Moving Out, and Moving Out is a ridiculous physics-based moving simulator that brings new meaning to couch co-op. Are you ready for an exciting career in furniture as a newly certified furniture arrangement and relocation technician? You'll take on moving jobs all across the busy town. So the idea is it's basically an obstacle course where you're moving furniture and you're moving objects from one room to another, trying to unpack the truck, do whatever you can. It's have you ever played a game similar to this before? Because
I
I've
mean,
played a few.
I think so. Yeah, I've definitely played something kind of like this. Um,
Yeah, there's a couple of games like this. Right now, for some reason, I can't think of it, but it's on the level of like goofiness of Fall Guys.
yeah, for sure.
It's just a very goofy, fun game for everybody. Like it's a perfect game to play with like a family.
I was gonna say
You know?
this is something I wouldn't mind just popping on and either playing with like family or just like popping on
Yeah,
to like a party or something and just playing just for like a little bit. Cause like
yeah.
it's got that vibe.
It's just a good it's a good time because you're trying to work together, but if you actively work against each other, then it could just be hilarity.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good time. Just a good casual. I think it's like a good like arcade-ish kind of
Yeah.
game.
For sure.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I love that. I thought that was really just kind of a. It's so funny seeing that like difference from one trailer to another. So, moving out two, coming out spring 2023. But now
Mhm.
Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm
Oh,
excited
Mike,
about this
got
one.
some good gameplay for Hogwarts Legacy. Nice little update. What's interesting. Last time we heard about Hogwarts Legacy, I didn't realize that the studio had pivoted to a single player game because it was originally supposed to be an MMO, like Harry Potter MMO.
Oh yeah.
But then they had to pivot, of course, I guess, because probably time constraints and just the complexity of trying to build an MMO. Um, so yeah, it's now single player, but that doesn't change the fact that this game looks amazing. Like, it's definitely something I want to check out because, like, I think the biggest thing is like getting Harry Potter in a modern day engine. Like, it's just
Dude.
to take full advantage of like the fidelity and just the complexity you can put into a video game nowadays. You could really do wonders, especially if you go in the nice Harry Potter universe. So, I'm definitely excited for this one.
The graphics looks like really, really cool. It looks like a proper role-playing single player game. I'm a little bit disappointed that they're not gonna have multiplayer because I feel like
Yeah,
there would be a lot of potential for it.
for sure.
But I
Yeah,
mean, if you can't master it, you can't master it, right?
yeah,
So I think this game will do well. The Harry Potter IP is still alive and well,
yeah, yeah.
and
I mean,
people
always will be.
crave new content. So this one's actually going to be done by Warner Brothers. It's going to be on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, first Switch game that we mentioned, and Windows. So it's going to be available for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's on everything, so that's already a
Yeah.
W right there. Um, yeah, I'm
The thing I
excited.
do the thing I do like is it's supposed to be set in the late 1800s is what the description says. So, set in the late 1800s and follows the students starting at Hogwarts in their 5th year. The player character, who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart, is capable of manipulating a mysterious ancient magic and will need to help uncover why this forgotten magic has suddenly made a resurgence and the ones that are simultaneously trying to harness it. So it sounds like it's a typical like dark arts, somebody coming
Yeah.
back,
Oh, baby, the
and then
dark arts.
yeah, and I
So,
do like the 5th year of Hogwarts, which means it's usually towards the end. I think it might be their final year. I think there's only 5 years.
I think so. Yeah, I can't remember, man. It's been so long since
Yeah,
I've watched Harry Potter,
yeah.
but yeah,
You never
it's
actually
definitely
see like Harry and the team graduate because
Yeah,
they're too busy like
I guess so. Yeah,
fighting Voldemort.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah,
Um,
so yeah, I think it should be pretty good. Of
yeah, yeah. There are some. They do mention some pre-order bonuses if you pre-order the digital deluxe edition.
course.
You get the Dark Arts pack. You get Onyx. Hippogriff mount. Dude, you get some crazy stuff, some crazy like cosmetic stuff, right? You get a hat. But the biggest thing is you get 72-hour early access if you pre-order, which I can't
Let's
remember the
go.
last. I mean, which is awesome, but I can't remember the last game that actually did like early access pre-order that I bought. I know like there's studios that still do it every now and again, but yeah, it's been a
It's been
while.
a long time since I've seen that. I think that's just a typical like Warner Brothers hasn't. I don't think Warner Brothers has made a proper game in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think. They didn't have a hand in. Did they have a hand in Gotham Knights, or is that a different? I can't even remember. That's like one of the upcoming games.
I
That
think
universe.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Then
Let
again,
me
that's
double
this
check.
year,
I can
hasn't
pull
it?
it up
Oh,
quick. Yeah, Gotham Knights.
yeah.
Which you want to go into right now, or we'll wait for that one?
We can wait for that. A little bit further
Yeah,
on.
it's
It's
also in
time.
Warner Brothers as well.
Yeah, give it its time. Um, yeah, moving on a little bit, there was new Tales from the Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands
DLC.
always was the first one, originally did really well. And now there's a brand new one coming out. So it's like serving that audience and the people that wanted to see another one. So it's brand new Tales, man, brand new story arcs. So should be exciting for Borderlands fans. Looks good. Looks it looks like if you listen to like the dialogue and everything, it's very much Borderlands. The goofiness,
Yeah,
the the just the cartoon aspect. It's great, man. Looks good.
yeah, it does look good. It's gonna be on all the platforms, but the cool thing about it is gonna be coming out October 21st,
Yeah, very soon.
2022. So that's pretty soon. That's like 2 months away.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's just typical Borderlands. If you're familiar with Borderlands, I'm sure you already knew about it. It's pretty cool because I didn't actually think about Borderlands until Gamescom. So this kind of
yeah, that's true.
brought it back a little bit for me. It's
Yeah,
been a while, you know. I feel like it's been a
yeah,
while since Borderlands had some hype around it.
yeah. I mean, it was Borderlands 3. That was, gosh, I was trying to remember if that was, I think it was 2020. I believe. I can't remember if it was 2019 or 2020 that game came out. But yeah, it's been a little while since then. So
2019, I think.
yeah,
I think.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, more likely. So it's good. You get to get back in that universe again. For those who've been wanting more. Because I know they released Tiny Tina's Adventures back in like
They
it was like
did.
May. They released that, which I know that was very
Yeah.
different though than like a. There was some Borderlands like first person aspect to it, but it was also kind of just like a third person kind of thing. So
Yeah, but Take
yeah,
Two Games, like the publisher and the rest of the dev teams underneath them, like they've been working hard on the game. So
yeah,
it's totally understandable that they took a little bit of time to get some Borderlands content out.
sure, for sure. Speaking of new content, Dying Light 2. They're already getting their first DLC soon, Mike. Can you believe that?
Wild.
That's
That's
crazy.
quick.
I mean, yeah, it's it's been a while since February, so it's good to hear the DLC is still coming. And we got a preview of that first DLC expansion. Looks like a Finding Arena expansion. It's fight to the death, man. This arena, and you're trying to survive. Looks like a lot of fun if you love the combat of Dying Light. So, it's right up your alley, and overall, it's exciting. It seems like there's gonna be a story to it, and it's gonna be a lot of interesting things to delve into. And this is something that, personally for me, I want to try and go back and complete the Dying Light 2 campaign. I have a feeling it's probably going to be just a continuation somewhat of that. So yeah, that's very close though. October 13th. That's just a little over a month away. So, Bloody Ties is the name of that. It's coming soon, man. Very excited. I got to hop back in.
Yeah, I think it's going to bring a lot of people back. That I mean, honestly, some people haven't even gotten to Dying Light 2 to begin with.
Yeah. True.
So it'll be good for them to just to like load it up, get that DLC, keep it going. You know,
Yeah.
have all
For
the content.
For sure. I mean, it's crazy too, because like, it's like I love to see a game that they had like the roadmap and everything. I love to see a game that's like because like the last like huge single player game that came out, and they said that DLC content was going to come out. I feel like, at least for me, was Cyberpunk,
Uh,
right? Like that was the
yeah,
one where I
I
was like,
was
dude, I
like,
want
I
that
know where you're going.
DLC. It's
It has been a
2 years,
while,
Mike. It'll be
man.
2 years in December. Can you believe that? Oh
Yeah, it's
man,
gonna be wild. They gotta have an announcement soon, right?
I feel like they have to, right? I definitely want
Yeah.
to see some stuff by 2023. You know, it's funny too. I was trying to think. I like not to go too off on a tangent on this, but I was trying to remember like in terms of Cyberpunk because I think the original roadmap was like they wanted DLC in like 2021, and then they
Yeah.
wanted a second pack. I think at the end of 2021, and then 2022 was like, oh, we got the multiplayer piece or like the multiplayer kind of side game.
Yeah.
It's almost 2023, Mike. Oh man, and when you look at hindsight, it's like, dude, it could have been so great, crazy.
Time is not on their favor, my man.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
Hopefully the DLC's good. That's all I can hope for at this point is that we'll get some solid downloadable content, some solid story expansions. So, anyways, enough of the aside. Gonna move on because after this game that was shown after this, they talk a little bit about Destiny 2. I'm not gonna go too much in depth to that. It's the Lightfall reveal. But the one that hit me more and I thought was interesting, more Sonic Frontiers gameplay, sir. Or Sonic Frontiers. Looks very interesting. I think we've seen, for the most part, like, all we need to see at this point to know whether or not people want to play it. Overall, man, dude, it just looks fun, man. Like Sonic, he's just running through like different biomes and just doing it. They got all the springs and stuff, man. So good.
We've covered Sonic Frontiers for a while now of just like our hype of it. We've seen a bunch of content coming out from Sega, from Nintendo. And I mean, geez, I just remember like this isn't just on Nintendo anymore. This is gonna be on PlayStation, Xbox, and on PC.
Sir.
Like this looks like what I believe what our comparison was is something similar to what Zelda's been doing.
Yeah.
And I still think it fits, man. Like the more I see of this game, the more interested I am in playing it. I
Yeah.
think they're really like revitalizing Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah. For
taking it
sure.
back to the glory days.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think a change it like, a change up in things is what the series needs and this I'm hoping it has a similar effect to that of like Zelda, right? Like Breath of the Wild, kind of like, that just kind of breathed life back into it. I'll not necessarily say that Zelda was dying, but that's certainly a nice direction that they took with Breath of the Wild. So,
Oh, for sure.
I think
That's
we're seeing
probably their
something.
best game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing something similar with Sonic. The best part is November 8th. I mean, this is 2 months away. Like, it's pretty close. So,
It's super close.
um,
When you're gonna probably get this game, aren't you?
I think I might. Yeah. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. I mean, I didn't. I tried Breath of the Wild, but I never like. I think I put it down after a few hours and then just never got back to it. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I may or may not check it out. One thing I will say: PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, and Xbox One split across multiple platforms. But I mean, even though it is that, I mean, the trailers and stuff still look good. So I think there's still a lot of I think it'll be a good, nice. At least in like the graphics department in the world, I think. I'm hoping that at least on the current gen stuff, it performs well. So we'll see, man. 2 months away.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I might try to get it on the Switch. I might.
Yeah, it is
I,
on
I
the
feel like it'd
Switch.
be a
It's crazy.
good, proper game to have handheld. I think it'd be nice.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. That sounds interesting for sure.
Hmm.
So there was some gameplay of Goat Simulator 3, but just out of spite, I'm not showing that because then they upset me. So take that, dude. Take that, Goat
It's
Simulator 3.
hilarious.
No one cares about your ragdoll goats, all right? No one cares, man.
Hey, I do. That I played that game for the first time, Goat Simulator. I played that at 2 a.m. on a Friday night, and it was a great time. Let me tell you, probably the most fun I had playing a video game in a long time. At that point, you're just running around headbutting people.
I mean, yeah, for a goat. What can we say? Um, but yeah, that I ain't got too much to say. You're just a silly goat running around town, just causing
That's
havoc.
really all it is.
That's
At
all
this
it
point,
is.
you're like it's a simulator game where you're a goat and there's different mini games in it, and you're running around causing havoc. I mean, if you ever watched the TV shows or the movie Jackass, like this
Yeah.
is just Jackass, but it's a goat. Really, what it is.
Goats doing yoga. So there you go. That's all you need to see right
Yeah.
there. Pretty crazy. But yeah, we will of course be moving on from that. Um, I want to say after this, there was Return to Monkey Island. I never played the Monkey Islands. That game is like old. It's a
Yeah.
could be older than me. Honestly, I don't even know. That game's out there, but they are kind of making another one of that. So they talked about that some. There is Moonbreaker, which is from the same devs that did Subnautica, and it's a very different style of game, which the studio is known for. I know the game they did before Subnautica was nothing like it, and then they came out with Subnautica and they pivoted completely in genres, and now they're pivoting again. They found success in Subnautica, so who knows? They may find success in this upcoming game, Moonbreaker. So seems it's one of those things you can like paint your figurines, and it's like a kind of a I want to say it's a like kind of a tactical, not tactical shooter, but it's in the style of, it reminds me of like XCOM. I think when they showed like gameplay of it
Yeah.
this year, kind of like
Yeah,
that.
it's a turn-based strategy game,
Yeah, yeah,
basically. It's a so I'll read off the description. It's gonna be on Windows and Macintosh, so on PC. Moonbreaker is a turn-based strategy, tabletop tactics game developed by Unknown Worlds, the team behind the Subnautica series, which you mentioned earlier.
yeah.
It is designed to be a true digital miniatures experience set in an expansive sci-fi universe crafted by best-selling sci-fi and fantasy author Brandon Sanderson. So, I think it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of doing the figurines, putting in digital format. I think this has a lot of potential to bring on like a lot of people that are interested in like tabletop games.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, coming from I had a buddy in college that was like super into miniatures for especially like Warhammer. And I can tell you right now it is like so time consuming, but like when you paint those figurines, you have like the game laid out and everything, it just looks insane. Like it looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I will say, dude, the colors, like, is it like, I mean, if I'm gonna go back to this wide shot of main stage, like, dude, the color palette that they
It
have on
looks
like for Moonbreaker, it's unbelievable, dude. So it looks so nice. And so, I mean, I think that's the cool thing is you could paint your own kind of miniatures and you can really like customize the game to what you want. Um, so I really can respect and appreciate that aspect of it. Yeah, overall, if you're into miniatures and stuff like that, I think it's a game worth trying out. I mean, the color alone, dude, got me there. Look at this,
yeah,
beautiful.
it's gorgeous. It's just a
Yeah,
really good looking game.
yeah,
Um, Definitely for people that enjoy art, enjoy the colors. I think it's really cool because you can like the characters, the miniatures that you have, you can customize them to the point that it like represents who you are. So I
yeah,
could definitely see people just falling into this.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And then, we could all use a little more color. I personally love
Mhm.
different. I always love like just like color vomit. Is the best way to describe it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I love that in games. Like if I like you see me in a shooter, if they have a skin that's like either a toy gun skin or like some just colorful skin, I always gravitate towards that over like the blood like doom looking skins and like and like those darker colors. So I'm a sucker for it. What can I say?
I totally get that. Pretty colors, flashing lights, get your attention.
Oh man, my Zoomer brain loves it. So that
Heck yeah. The tackier the better.
yeah. So the next one I thought was worth noting, next game was Lies of P. And I know Jeff talked about it. I don't know if you have the description for this. I think you do. Um,
I do.
but yeah, it deals with Pinocchio, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the description
That
fully states, but
that is correct. Here, I'll go ahead and read it for you. So, it is inspired by the familiar story of Pinocchio. Lies of P is an action Souls-like game that in Dark Bell Epiqui? Yeah, Epiqui world? I hope I spelled that right, or pronounced that right. Guide Pinocchio on his unrelenting journey to become human. So it's just a traditional story of Pinocchio
nice.
and
Um,
looks wild.
I mean, dude, yeah, the gameplay looks bananas. But it's like it looks really well done. And I mean, it's for a Souls like, if you love those Souls like games, this is it. Like it's gonna be another one to add to your list. Um, yeah, it's a nice kind of steampunk aesthetic too, which I think which some people love. So and I think, but see, looking at this too, I've never been huge on steampunk, but I don't know, I like this. I like this like this kind of setting that they have. Looks very interesting. So um, I don't know if I'm gonna play. I think the last Souls like I played was Star Wars. It was the Star Wars last Star Wars game. So um, yeah, it's It's something. Who knows? If I want to get mad at myself, I'll probably play it, but we'll see. Looks fair, but nonetheless, looks great. They even show gameplay. It's Souls like, man. It's everything you could everything you could dream for.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's gonna be on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, and Series X and S, but it will also be on PC. So I think it'll be popular when it comes out. I think this is gonna garner like a lot of attention. I think it's gonna be pretty cool for like story driven content.
Yeah,
It looks like a proper role playing action adventure fighting game.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the
Sure.
best way to put it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Looks really good. Check it out if you're into the Souls like. But we're gonna skip on over to some of that nice High on Life gameplay they showed. They showed an entire
Mhm.
boss fight essentially on High on Life. Um,
It really did.
I mean, dude, it's this is a game like I mean, if you love the Rick and Morty humor, it's Justin Roiland, dude. It's right up there. So it's quirky, it's funny.
It's
I think it's
outrageous.
definitely something I'm probably gonna check out. And I think it's a December release now, so it's very soon. But yeah, dude, it looks funny. So it's definitely something. I mean, yeah, like a goofy first person shooter. I'm in, dude. And he's like grappling with this weird looking like I don't even know what that is,
Aliens.
dude. Like alien thing, dude. Yeah, but I won't play the audio, but there is some funny like quips and stuff that like the knife makes and the gun makes because all the items talk and stuff like that. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
so I guess for people that have never seen this or know what we're talking about, hopefully you've seen Rick and Morty before. But the art style of Rick and Morty is like very outrageous, cartoony, like well, it is a cartoon, of course, but it's like it's the alternate reality, like it's supposed to be bizarre, hyper creative.
Yeah.
It's dare I say it's like it's a stereotypical like drug trip that
It's
people would
yeah.
just like it's
Yep.
like high on life is meant in a almost a literal sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, so it's like I'll read the description for this. It's in the future, humanity has been taken by an alien cartel to be used as drugs for aliens. So, playing as a bounty hunter, the player must navigate throughout the galaxy to save the humans by using weapons called Gatlians, alien guns to take out the threats. And the guns and the weapons are aliens themselves. And the crazy thing about it, which is so clever, I think, is the guns and weapons will talk to you and they all have their own individual personality.
Dude, yeah.
So
It's
it's
so
like,
good.
yeah, and so it's like when you're aiming down sights, you bring the alien super close to your face. It's
Yeah.
like and he's like making eye contact with you as you're shooting. It's very, very funny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and like it looks like he's shooting at slime. Like it's all just kind of Nickelodeon slime styles.
Dude, oh man.
It's just goofy, man. It looks really cool.
Yeah. It's that crude humor kind of just like
Oh yeah,
just very much like I don't know, it just looks interesting. It's very this I love that story concept. It's very left field, so I think it'll do well. So I'm excited for it. And there was they did I believe they did meet in the Xbox conference kind of like day thing that they did. They did meet with a couple of the devs to go a little more in depth about the game and kind of what to expect. So if you're looking for more
oh yeah,
info, they talk about it over there. Um
yeah. It's on
yeah.
Windows and Xbox, so not a PlayStation game, unfortunately, for those that are rocking the Sony merch.
Yeah. Not. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit to Gotham Knights. Got some more Warner Brothers game Montreal making this one. So it is the upcoming kind of Warner Brothers game in that Gotham universe. Playing as the different Gotham heroes, anti-heroes. Um yeah, it looks pretty it kind of it just it's very much like if you love like Suicide Squad kind of that kind of thing. I mean,
It's got that
it's
vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's got that vibe. So um, but yeah, I mean, if it's anything like the Batman games, I think it's gonna be a hit. So expecting great things from this one.
Yeah, I think it's kind of based on, of course, like the comics. I do think they're taking some inspiration from the actual like actors and actresses from the movies as well, the TV shows. So it's supposed to be inspired by the Gotham Knights comic series, but the character Batman and his supporting cast. So it's like the game focuses on the characters Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood as they attempt to restore justice to Gotham City during a period of decline in the immediate aftermath of Batman's supposed death. So while investigating Batman's disappearance, the heroes come into conflict with the Court of Owls, a secret society that is as old as Gotham itself, and their legion of brainwashed assassins called Talons.
The
Oh,
brainwashed.
yeah, so new villains, some new heroes, some new takes. There's a lot of like traditional characters in here as well, like the ones that everybody knows from the Batman series. I think it has a lot of potential. I do think that the Gotham Knights, like Arkham Asylum, those video games, I mean that those games were insanely good.
Oh yeah.
So I can only imagine this is gonna hit as well by Warner Brothers, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox. Could be good.
Oh
Comes
yeah.
out
Oh
October
yeah.
21st.
Very soon. Very soon. The game is right
Mhm.
around the corner. This is a game that actually ditched. They ditched the PS4 and Xbox One X
Yeah,
releases.
last minute,
Yeah,
basically.
so it was yeah, they ditched all of them, which a lot of people were like, "Oh, I." We suspect they probably ditched them because they were so bad that they didn't want a cyberpunk effect of like, yeah, here's the old one that just
Yeah.
doesn't function, and then you had to like pull it and everything. So who knows the actual details, but it's good that they you know, kudos to them, I guess, for just saying, you know what, let's just stick with the current gen and not worry about releasing on old gen. So very good on them. Um, there is, let's say, next up, talked a little bit about we saw Hideo Kojima came out with a little announcement. He's actually launching his own podcast on Spotify. So
That's pretty exciting.
yeah, pretty exciting stuff there. I think he said there's going to be both English and Japanese versions, of course. But it's worth but yeah, I mean, Hideo Kojima, just that man's mind, it's probably going to be worth a listen about like whatever he talks about, because he's been one of the leading kind of leading outside of the box thinkers we've had in the gaming industry in the past decade. So definitely a lot, I feel like, to pick up on from his shows. So definitely probably worth a listen. I think it's coming out like first week of September too. It's like the first episode, so definitely around the corner. Should check that one
That's
out.
good.
So yeah, very interesting stuff there. Brain Destruction's name is September 8th. That's when that launches. The next one I wanted to see was Park Beyond. Do you like Park Builders, Mike? Have you ever played one? Playing
Okay,
a
first and
coaster?
foremost, one of my
Oh,
favorite games of all time is Roller
oh,
Coaster Tycoon,
oh
baby.
my god.
Oh, you know I'm interested in this.
Yes, sir. I love to hear that.
The thing I like about it too is it's by Bandai Namco,
Oh
which
yeah.
is a very famous publisher. So I don't think they've had a game that's like truly missed. I think this has a lot of potential, and it's been a while since I've seen some success from park builders.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I guess Planet Coaster may have been the last one. I don't know if when the last what the last Roller Coaster Tycoon was, but yeah, it's
Yeah, a while ago.
yeah, it's a big genre, so it's good to see another player in it. Hopefully it's a good one. Some of the coasters they show in the trailer too are absolutely insane and definitely not physically possible, probably in the real world.
Oh,
But
absolutely not.
dude, just something
I
like
have
jumping gaps
expertise
and
in
like, dude,
physics. There's no shot.
bro.
No
Oh
shot.
man. See, this is the thing, Mike. If the carts ever disconnect from the track, there's no chance. There's like maybe a 1 in a million chance that even one of the carts would reconnect to the track after an arch or like any sort of like, just like
Yeah.
there's just no way it would happen.
Yeah, not a 1 for 1. No shot. No shot.
Could you
Not
imagine,
not a roller
dude?
coaster track the way they're currently designed. There's no way.
Dude, it'd
There
be
are
crazy,
I
man.
will say the one way to make it work is magnets. That's the one way to
Ooh,
make it work.
maybe you may have a $1 billion idea here, Mike. Just saying.
Well, here's the problem. If you're wearing metal and you're around those magnets, you're gonna be attached to the rail as well.
Nah,
So,
bro. You gotta.
like,
This is the
come
thing.
on.
You gotta create a new compound that's only magnetic with itself and nothing else. This is where the real
Okay.
chemistry and science evolution needs to come into play right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just bend the laws of physics
Let's just create
for
a
a
new
roller
element, dude.
coaster.
Where's my hadron collider?
You know what? We don't have to because this game doesn't care about physics.
It doesn't.
It doesn't even care about
We're in a
gravity.
we're in a make believe world, so that's the beauty of video games, ladies and
Let me
gentlemen.
let me actually read this out for the people that have never even heard of a park builder before because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
description's actually kind of cool. It goes in Park Beyond, you can create the park of your dreams without being held back by gravity. So there you go. That's all you need.
There you go.
He goes, take the role of a newly hired visionary architect for a struggling company, and create a mind-twisting theme park. You can create the rides you have always dreamed about, but that's couldn't exist in real life. So the entire premise, build the best park ever. I mean, pause that real quick for the people that are just watching. It's gonna be on PS5,
Yeah.
Xbox Series X, and S on PC. But look over the left-hand side. It's what is that?
What is it, dude?
Is
Totally
that a
explain.
Ferris wheel with like 7 other Ferris wheels on top of it?
it's
Is that
it's
what
just
I'm looking at?
a giant cog like in a machine that's just like a Ferris wheel.
It's
Oh, it's
like a
like
Ferris
passing the cart,
wheel
dude.
that yeah, it's crazy. I'm
It's wild,
I'm
man.
all for it. I think, I get stuck into these YouTube videos of people like, it's a real life civil engineer is his stuff. He likes building stuff in, city planners and, like, Sim City kinda stuff. I get stuck watching his videos. His videos are, like, 45 minutes long, and I'm like, how do you properly design this?" Now I'm gonna be like, I gotta find a nutty engineer that's just like, I'm gonna make the most ridiculous roller coaster ever. So,
Dude, oh man. Dude,
I'm looking
I'll
forward to this game.
dude, speaking of engineers playing those games, I'll never forget when you were playing that like bridge game, dude. You were streaming
Yeah.
that, dude. It was so good. Oh my god. Trying to see an
I had
engineer
plenty of
like
people yeah, I
dude.
had plenty of people tuning in. They're just like, "You're really bad at this." I'm like, "I don't know the tensile strength of the material."
It's like
You know,
freaking out over this stuff. So funny. Ah,
yeah, it was a good time.
oh, watching an engineer
It's
build
like,
stuff, dude. It's great.
Polybridge 2 is the game I
Polybridge,
was
yeah. That's
yeah, that's a good game.
it. Oh man.
Good time.
You know what else is great? Mini Cooper, or I guess just Mini, whatever they are. They're making a Pokemon inspired car. What is this? The Ace Man is what they're calling it. Looks interesting. It's got the nice Pokemon colors.
Is it all electric?
Exterior.
It looks electric.
I don't know, but it's got a nice screen. It's got some interesting you can like project you have a built-in projector to your car. It's kind of sick. But dude, look at the front of that. It's rad, man. like um but
What's the
yeah,
price tag?
I don't even know if they unveiled it. This is just like a kind of a concept thing, I think, for the most part. Dude, wild, right? Imagine people riding
It's
around in
totally wild.
Pokemon minis. Crazy, man.
It's so unnecessary, but I'm here for it.
I mean, it is. It's completely
It's the
unnecessary.
collab. It's the collab we had no idea we needed.
Yeah,
You know?
dude. Yeah, no. It's insane. So if you're in the market for a mini, dude, you can get a Pokemon inspired one. Definitely could. Um, there's only a couple more things left. We'll go over Outlast Trials. I'm sure
Yeah.
people listen to this Outlast. If you ever played Outlast 1, 2, it's a very successful horror series. Well, now you have the Outlast Trials. It's very in the same exact realm, same exact universe. Nice little horror. So if you loved Outlast, this could be yet another game to dive into. If you like the horror genre, it's definitely one to check out. I think. Looks like you're in like looks like you're in a park or like I don't even know like not like a carnival, but like maybe a theme park or something. It looks very interesting.
Okay, so let me hit you with the description of it.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so first of all, it's going to be on PC, and it's by the typical developers and publishers for Outlast, and I believe it's the third. Yeah, it's the third installment. So here's the description: The Outlast Trials is an upcoming first-person psychological horror survival video game developed and published by Red Barrels. It is the third installment in the Outlast series, serving as the prequel to the first two games, and it features test
See.
subjects and a mysterious Cold War experiment. So the
Ah.
Cold War was like, what was that? They say it was after World War II. World War II ended in like 45, so it ended 89, 93, or
Yeah, it was
whenever
like
the wall
it
fell.
started in like the 60s, I think, or something like that. No
Oh
historian.
yeah, like yeah, the Cold War was heating up in the 60s, is what they say.
Yeah.
So it's like 47 and 91. So judging by the graphics, and I guess we can kind of make a basis off of what people are wearing. I'm getting an 80s vibe, aren't you? A little
Could
bit.
be, yeah, a little bit.
So I think it has a lot of potential. I like the idea that it's a prequel. That's gonna be a new take on the Outlast series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. When they do like when you see a prequel for a horror game, it's like it makes you wonder how in depth the story's gonna be, or like what they're gonna do with the story.
Yeah.
So um
Most people when they think of horror games is just like everybody just it's gore.
yeah,
Like
it's
you're
like
just gonna get
this is
got.
either meant to gross you out or scare you. It's kinda like
Yeah.
it's not no
Or
room
some
for story. But yeah.
yeah,
Um so yeah, very interested. It's one of the few horror games I feel like that's lasted a decent while. So
that's right.
curious to see how they do it. Very curious. Well, it's about that time, Mike. You know what time it is? It's time for the final
Oh,
game. What did they show
wait.
last?
Yeah, let's see.
It's time for the final game. You remember how I was mad about Goat Simulator earlier? Well, you know what? This made up for it. What they're about to show
It
you,
did.
they redeemed it. All right, not as mad
They get
anymore.
they gave you 3 minutes, man.
They give me not only they give us like a little cinematic, they give us gameplay, Mike. Like, are you kidding me, dude? This makes
I
up
wasn't
for it. I have
expecting
to
that.
say,
I was not expecting it.
this makes up for it right here. All my disgust. It's out the window after this. But yeah, Dead Island 2 has finally been announced, and it
Yeah,
is
as a
very
release
soon.
date,
It's very soon. They even dropped a
February
release date
3rd.
with it. Oh
February
man,
3rd. All platforms too, and on Stadia. Did you know that? It's gonna be on
really?
Stadia.
Oh wow, look at
Yeah.
that. They're going for it, man. Yeah, I remember. So when I think I watched this part live, and I was watching this live. All the comments
You were
were,
texting me.
dude,
Oh
I was
my
going
gosh.
hard in Mike's DMs.
You were all caps. Dead
Dude,
Island.
Dead Island 2 build. I was freaking out. See, this is the thing. Whenever I saw this, whenever we see this guy, this main character right here, the whole chat was like, "Is that Lenny Kravitz? Is that Lenny Kravitz?" It's
Yeah,
like
I
that's
thought
all
that
it was,
too.
dude. And dude, oh man, it looks like Lenny Kravitz. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's holding his
Um,
like people would have called it Lenny Kravitz if he actually had a rifle, like not a rifle in his hands. He had a guitar.
yeah,
He's
right.
just swinging like a. If he had a guitar there, that's Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, dude, sure. But yeah, dude. I mean, the cinematic is cool and all. I love the he's in the store just getting the essentials. He's getting drugs, he's getting chips, and he's getting vodka. I mean, I don't know what else you could want, right? The bare
Yeah.
the bare necessities, as they say. And then he smashes a zombie with a shelf. I mean, very interesting.
He's
But
just
yeah,
a boss.
it's nice and gory and just it's Dead Island, man. That's all it is. Dead Island 2. So they show all that very exciting stuff there. He doesn't have batteries in his remote. Turn on the TV. Very sad. He forgot to get batteries. It's very unfortunate. He blows up someone with all that. But yeah. So they kind of cut. I love this wide shot right here of LA.
Yeah, it's
Like,
supposed to
look
be
at that.
Los Angeles.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. It's just like LA. It's like it's ran down and in flames. We had Dead Island 2 February 3rd. You can pre-order it today. If you open up the Epic Games Store launcher, Mike, you can literally pre-order it. Am I gonna do
I know. I
that?
saw
I'm not gonna do that, but you can do it. But
Yeah, I wouldn't pre-order a game that's been basically in development since 2011.
yeah,
So
I'm
I'm waiting.
good, dude. I'm good. But yeah, they mentioned they bring out one of the people from the studio. They mentioned that they rebuilt the game, I guess, from the ground up in 2018, I believe, when they acquired it in the newer studio.
That makes sense.
So in Dam Busters, so yeah, it's been 4 years in the making. But Dead Island 2, it's finally here. I'm trying to skip ahead here because I love the logo too. Nice Dead Island.
It's sick. Yeah,
Logo is real nice.
it's sliced in half, looking like samurai sword sliced in
Yeah.
half because it was in the gameplay.
Oh
At
yeah.
the end, the guy picks up a sword.
Yeah. But they were sitting there saying, we in Jeff Keighley's like, we love the cinematic, but when are we gonna get to see some gameplay? And then she was like, what about right now, Germany? And everyone's like, oh, like freaking out. So, so sure enough, dude. Cut to a nice little trailer here, and fast forward a little bit, see everything. Get some gameplay. Get some in-game cinematics. They do censor some stuff, which is hilarious because it's like they'll just like completely censor out like a really gory part, but then they show stuff like that. So it's I think it's for comedic effect, but
it's definitely for mature audiences. I think.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
say the
dude, the
least.
graphics look good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The graphics look nice. I
Like, real
like it.
good. But yeah, I mean, just what like the kicking, the throwing. I mean, it reminds me of Dead Island. It's very much like they kept that combat style. So, yeah, man. Dead Island 2 is here. It's wild to think about, but it's here. You got guns, you got lunging, you got that comedy. Yeah, are you dying down there? He's like fist bumping the. But
The drama,
oh
it's
man,
so cool.
yeah, it's wild. That pool's green. What is that, dude? Um, but
Post-apocalyptic, man. You don't need to clean the pool. Worried about zombies.
yeah, for real. Yeah, there's story there. I'm very interested to see the story. It's gonna be weird seeing like the characters of LA in this and how stereotypical they are to
Oh my
the
gosh.
Hollywood.
I
um,
hope they go
so
super stereotypical Hollywood, LA, LA.
LA. Oh
From
man.
LA.
Oh man. I mean, just so we have PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Alexa, Alexa game control. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um,
I don't really know what it is either.
so there's Stadia, but then on PC it's an Epic Game Store exclusive, so you do have to get it to Epic Game Store. I don't care, man. Hoping it's a good game. I can only hope that. I think for the most part, I mean, it's going to be a new universe, of course, and a new setting and everything, which is awesome. I can only hope that they expand on some of the Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide kind of gameplay and make it better in terms of quality of life and everything. So that's my only hope, I think, going into it. So we'll see on February 3rd. Hopefully, there's no delays. They've been working on it for some time though, and from gameplay, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, very excited. Also very excited for Game Awards. Game Awards is going to be December 8th. He announced that.
Yeah,
So
we're moving forward with it.
yeah, 3 months out, dude. It's crazy to think about. How are you like what? How are we 3 months out? But,
Yeah, it's great. Like this year's been going by real quick, I feel like.
yeah,
A lot of stuff
very
been
fast.
happening. And it's been great doing the podcast with you though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a
we were
lot of
having a
fun.
good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's been I feel like it's made the year go by faster because it's like every time we do an episode, it's like, dude, it's already been a week. It's already been a week. It's already been a week, and I'm just like, this
Yeah,
is why. Like
exactly.
every time, it's like, there's no way.
Yeah.
We just filmed yesterday. Like what the heck? So,
Yeah, we
um,
really like it really does feel like that.
yeah.
Sometimes we're just like doing the weekend recap and I'm just like, dude, I feel like it's only been 3 days. Like what
Right.
happened?
It's been 24 hours. Why am I
Like what the
recap?
heck?
Dude, oh
Jeez,
man. Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, I think I have a feeling we'll definitely I definitely want to talk about it some more, but who knows? I think a good season finale could be just a Game Awards recap. Just close out the year and then
I
we're
think that might be a
and
good
then
idea.
we're riding into the break after that. I think that's gonna be a good send off.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
So yeah.
We'll talk about that more. Oh, we should do. I'm wondering how we should go about this. I actually before we leave Gamescom, and I know you want to end on Dead Island. I want to give two game shout outs real quick
Okay.
that I was personally interested in.
Mm-hmm.
They are the first one is Atlas Falling, which is
Ah,
going to be
yes,
on
yes.
PS5, Windows, and Xbox Series X. Atlas Falling is an action adventure game. It's by description from their website. Well, first of all, it doesn't come out until 2023. But the description on the website is rise from the dust and glide the sands of timeless land filled with ancient dangers, mysteries, and fragments of the past. Hunt legendary monsters with powerful sand infused weapons and abilities in spectacular super powered combat. So from the cutscene, I was very intrigued because it's like it's all cinematics, but it looks like you have super abilities, like super powered combat abilities, where he's
Yeah.
lifting up a bridge to transport something on this convoy.
It's crazy,
But he
dude.
also this character is like fully shielded, looking very like Halo 3 like E3 trailer where he's like armored up, but he's also wearing a cloak.
Yeah.
Like and he's going to fight looks like lion sand monsters
It's
coming out of the sand. You see
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
And some he's coming out with a scythe and just like knocking people or like knocking these monsters to death. They have super lightning powers. Looks nuts.
It's
So
crazy.
the it looks pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. And the other game, well, I guess we could just let this play out. It's not too much longer, but it's I think it has a lot of potential. What do you think? Did it
Yeah,
catch
I
your eye
mean,
at all when you first saw it?
yeah, I mean for sure. Combat looks interesting. It's like you were saying, the idea of like the idea of abilities and like this style of like warrior. I mean, just look at this armor; it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very much like kind of accentuated, and then but yeah, you have the abilities to pair that. That's super dope. So hey, look at this creature coming, dude. That is a big monster coming out of the sand right now,
Yes.
dude.
Yes. I it looks insane. It looks like a dinosaur mixed. Yeah, have you ever watched Pitch Black with uh
Dude, I only
he's
saw
the
bits and
guy
pieces
Fantastic
of
Beasts.
Vin Diesel. Was he in that movie?
Vin Diesel, yes,
Yeah,
Vin Diesel.
yeah.
You've only seen bits and
No, I
pieces?
haven't seen the full thing.
My
No.
friend, if you wanna okay, so I love those movies, that entire series, the
Yeah,
Riddick series. I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but there's a monster in Pitch Black, and his head shape and art style and rendering of the CGI looks similar to that monster that just appeared out of
yeah.
the dunes right there, the sand.
Mhm.
I think it's pretty cool. I wanna see more of it to see what I'm getting into because
Yeah,
it's supposed to be action adventure.
yeah,
Doesn't say anything else.
yeah. I
Not
hope
much
it's
to it.
a. I'm hoping it's a co-op experience. Right? That'd be kind of dope.
That's
Looks
actually
like
it's
two
been a
player.
while since yeah, it should
Um,
be.
yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be a cool 2 player game. There's not. It's it's rare that we get like 2 player games nowadays that are just 2 players and not like
Yeah.
I
Co
mean
like,
I
have
mean
to
the
be
biggest
signed
thing, dude.
online, no split screen,
I
like,
mean,
stuff
dude,
like
like,
that.
yeah, I mean, you remember Army of Two? Did you ever play that game?
Yeah,
That was like one of the
yeah.
best co-op experiences like ever, just like 2 player.
You were raving about that
Um,
for months, I think.
yeah, I don't.
For a
I mean, I don't
while.
remember. I just know it was a good game. But games like oh, what have been some of the games that have come out recently? Like A Way Out was one that was a 2 player co-op experience that was fantastic. And
Was
then
Take-Two one as well?
yeah, It Takes Two. That was the other one. Those are like
Yeah,
really good co-op games. So
yeah.
we need more 2 player games. You know what I'm saying? More like nice little co-op experiences. Um,
We certainly do. Well, let me cut you off there. I wanna finish up with the last game that I was really interested in that we don't know
yep.
anything about. We only see a cinematic. It's Where Winds Meet.
Where winds
And
meet. Ah,
just
yes.
from the trailer, I was very intrigued. So there is no release date, and from what I can see, from what I've heard, is it's supposed to be a Chinese version of Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh, like the sound of
So,
that.
have you seen this trailer,
Yes, I
my
did.
friend?
I actually
Very
remember
cryptic.
seeing this live. And before you continue, I did see there was a part in this where like the cinematics kind of slow down. They get a little framey. Yeah, chat was roasting them, but
Yeah,
I just remember that. That's all I really remember. But I mean, aesthetically it looks great.
it looks high demanding on a PC
Oh
because it's gonna
yeah,
be PC only.
yeah.
The graphics look incredible. So it's gonna be published by Everstone Studio. I am personally not familiar with them. So, but it's gonna be an action adventure open world game. And by description, it says create legends in a time of unrest and where winds meet is an interactive open world game featuring action, adventure, and martial arts. As a swordsman, you must face the tough choices in a swordsman's destiny, as division and unrest are about to come to an end on the stage of the Northern Song Dynasty. So it's basically ancient China,
Yeah.
I think. Let's see if Song Dynasty. I'm not too familiar, but I do love me some good history. Oh, Song Dynasty was actually real. So 960, and it lasts until 1279. So yeah,
Dang.
ancient China, basically. Ancient Upper China near Liao and Western Z.
I
So,
swear
oh my gosh,
that's
so
like,
the Song Dynasty was huge. Holy
dude.
crap! Okay,
Dude, some
uh,
that history of like Chinese and like Japanese dynasties, it's like it's so
dude,
crazy.
the
Oh man.
clans in Japan are wild, and if you go even further into the history of China and all the different dynasties and the empires of like come and gone, because China is like so old and so like I don't revolutionary, I think,
Yeah.
and has so many monumental things that happen in their history. It's just I wanna learn more about it,
Yeah,
and I
for
hope
sure.
hopefully this is, like, somewhat accurate, but the graphics look very clean, like,
Oh yeah.
very interesting. The combat, I mean, it looks like a typical Thrasher kinda, like, button masher.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is it
for sure. Yeah, I mean
you
some
have
of the game
special abilities like running on water, like, what?
yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean that sequence of the samurai jumping in the air and like shooting out the barrels on the boat, like that was insane, man. Um But
It's
yeah,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style.
saying, dude, I'm saying.
Yeah,
Um,
so I think there's a lot of potential with these games coming up. I think Gamescom in general was a success. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I think it was too. I think it was interesting. It's I think for the most part, I like the games. I still hold the opinion of I think particularly like next year in 2024, I think are gonna hit harder because we're gonna start seeing more games. Some of the heavy hitters that are like gonna be rounding out development, and we
Yeah.
see some interesting stuff come out of those years. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I still love game conferences, whether or not it's like, I mean, unless it's like really bad. I mean, I always enjoy them. So it's I think this is definitely a pretty good one. It's been I think it was a good opening night live overall. So that was
Yeah,
yeah, for
I
sure,
totally
man.
agree with that. I think
Sure.
overall success, and I'm glad we got to sit down and like do an entire episode dedicated towards it.
Yeah. It's cool too. I mean, in terms of time, like we're like hitting an hour 20, so we
Oh, really?
we made really good time. So
Cool.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
not too much
there were
else. Yeah.
let me let the people know there were 36 games that new release trailers and gameplay from Gamescom 2022, and we only covered like 19 or 20.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
So
a lot more. So
yeah, yeah, a
definitely
lot
worth
more.
checking
I
out
think
all
we
the
hit
coverage.
the heavy hitters for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely check out everything if you missed it. Um, yeah, overall pretty good. I think we just it's the start of September, right, Mike? So
Oh yeah, yeah,
think we could probably run through what's gonna be what people can expect this month.
sure. Okay, so there are a couple of games. I think we can go ahead. I'll just go ahead and start with the heavy hitters. There are a lot. So probably the first one would be Metal Hellsinger, which is basically first person shooter game. Is coming out September 15th on PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. So keep an eye out for that. It looks pretty good. It's like I wouldn't know exactly how to describe it. Like first person shooter, kind of Doom esque, like switching through your guns really rapidly, destroying monsters, like proper thrash, you know?
Yeah.
The next one would probably be No Place for Bravery, which is on PC and Switch. That comes out September 22nd. That game is like an indie platformer, 2D dimensional game. It looks like it has a really good story. The actual um the art style is probably the best aspect of it. It looks really intriguing. Another one is The Last of Us Part 1. So
Yeah, for
familiar.
sure.
Yeah, September 2nd. That's actually going to be when this episode releases. So
Yeah,
whoever
that
listens to
day.
this,
Yeah,
it's out.
yeah, I mean I will say real quick too, I've heard a lot of reviews for part one. And overall it's very positive. They said it's actually a good remake, and they did a good job of kind of not just slapping better graphics on and calling it like a remake. They really spent time to improve. They said that the graphics in general and like the facial animations in particular, they said that they are exponentially improved, and it actually makes the story a whole lot more interesting because you're seeing like the true expression on characters'
Right.
faces. So it really
I heard the
sells that story more. An already amazing story, it makes it that much better. So I heard it's overall a really good remake. So that's exciting to hear.
I think the biggest one that I saw was like the lighting aspect of the game is just A plus now. It's just
Oh
like
yeah.
so much better and all encompassing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean they're able to take advantage of PS5, I think, to a
oh,
really
absolutely.
high extent. So, dude, yeah,
Obviously,
that story is just so good.
yep, of course. And the whole reason why they're redoing it is for the PS5. There's no
Yeah.
reason to have it on
Yeah.
PS4. They're doing it specifically for the graphic upgrade.
Yeah. There's that. I also heard too, of course, they're working on the HBO series, Last of Us HBO series.
Yes,
So
they are.
there's
I've
some
seen a couple of
speculation
things
that
about that.
yeah, I mean there's some kind of I think speculation that, they're releasing this too. So when that series comes out, sure enough, there's probably gonna be some people that are gonna say, "Oh, maybe I should go check out the source material," and they're like gonna go play the game, and they'll have
Yeah.
a brand new like here's the best possible version of this game that you can play on the shiny new graphics. So that's probably part of the reason why went down that route, but I mean also that story's so good, so the fact that they made it even better, it's like that's insane to me. Like but it's awesome. And it's enough to the point where, whenever I do end up getting a PS5, I may consider, especially on a discount, going and getting that game and running through it again because it's like everyone's saying it is. The story is just that much better with the enhancements. So
It really does look clean though. I
yeah,
I I actually I don't remember the first time I played or went all the way through Last of Us. So I think this could be along the lines of like something I would want to get into.
yeah.
Maybe talk to a buddy of mine that has a PS5, ask to borrow it for like 2 weeks.
Tell me, man, maybe
So
worth it.
who knows? Yeah, we'll see what happens. But moving on, so that hits 3 games so far. Let's go with a fourth. There is a Valkyrie Elysium that's on PS4 and 5. What I've seen is like more of like a thrashing kind of game, like button mashing. Uh, like it's very Japanese style. I think would be the best way to put it. Um, I've heard people say it's similar to a Souls game in a way.
Hmm.
The story looks really, really good, or Final Fantasy would probably be a better description than Souls. But it looks very clean. The graphics look good. The next game is the Diofield, I believe, Chronicle. That's going to be released September 22nd. That's on PC, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. So everything but pretty much PC. Well, no, it is on PC. My bad. It's on everything. And it's essentially a turn-based strategy game. Almost looks like top-down view game. It, from what I've seen, is people are very excited about it. There is a beta out as well. That's apparently pretty good. So
Hmm.
then moving on with the next one, and we actually mentioned this, or I mentioned this, might have been our last episode. Yeah, no, 2 episodes ago. 2 episodes ago, I mentioned this Splatoon 3, and
Oh yeah.
it looks pretty good. So Splatoon 3 is going to be on the Switch. It is September 9th, so that's coming out in a week of this episode's being released. And it just looks like Splatoon. I mean, it looks like the graphics are a little bit more updated, better combat. There's a little bit more weapon variation now. It looks like it's becoming a competitive arena shooter.
It's so crazy. Like Splatoon, what looks like a kid's game is like
Yeah, dude, I could
super
take this
competitive.
very seriously.
Yeah.
So I could have fun with this. It looks very cool. They added some extra weapons. There's like a crossbow in here. There's a weapon where you can suck up other people's like paint and then fire it back at them. So
Nice.
pretty cool. It looks very nice. Moving on to the next game would be Solstice. This is more of a Souls game. This is coming out September 20th. It's going to be on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And if you haven't seen the gameplay for this, I highly suggest it. It looks very, very interesting. Um, very intense. I think is the best way to put it. The graphics look really, really good. I don't exactly understand what the story's about, but looks good. It looks. I'm intrigued to see more gameplay of it. So definitely keep an eye out for that. This coming out September 20th. You have now Isanzo, I believe. Let me see how you pronounce this. I got give me
Figure this out. How do we pronounce this?
Isanzo. I said it is Zonzo. So
Sansa.
Isanzo with an I. It's gonna be PC, PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. That's gonna be on September 13th, so in 2 weeks. It is basically a World War One game. Is the
Oh.
best way to
Hmm.
put it. Storming the beaches, storming the mountains. They're in like the Alps fighting. The graphics look incredible. I
Oh
will
wow.
say that. Your old school fashioned World War One weapons, tactics. Like the coolest scene that they have in this trailer is you're trying to get through barbed wire while you're being like shelled on, and it's like you and the rest of your squad, and the barbed wire's in your way, so you have these like clippers, and you're trying to clip them open. So to like escape out of the trench to run forward,
Yeah.
pretty intense. Moving on to the next game is Return to Monkey Island, which was also at Gamescom.
Oh yeah.
It's going to release September 19th, 2022. It's on PC and Switch. And I'm not even sure how to describe this game. It's just like a story driven. chaos kind of game. Let me see. Yeah, I'll pull it up since I have the description written down. One of the games I have written down from Gamescom. It's by Devolver Digital and Lucas Films Games. So that's kind of
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a graphics adventure, kind of like a comic. And it's a sequel. So it's pretty interesting. It's an upcoming point and click adventure game developed by Ron Gilbert's Terrible Toy Box, and it is the sixth game of Monkey Island. While the game starts immediately after Monkey Island 2, it is not a sequel to it. So it's supposed to be the conclusion to the entire series. I am not too familiar with it, but
Not either, I must say.
yeah, but it's coming out. And the last game is Steel Rising. That's going to be September 8th, 2022. That's on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And the best way to describe this one is you are a robot super character in the French Revolution of era of France fighting bosses that are like robots. It's if I had to say what a video game was, I'd have given them the description of this game. So
Oh man.
it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of eh, I, I don't know what to call it. It just looks interesting.
Yeah, hey. Sounds interesting. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah. So that pretty much covers the main hitters for this month, and it should be fun. Should be good. I think October, November, December are going to be where the true games are going to be coming out. A
It's
lot of the
where it
ones,
all
the heavy
lies.
hitters. Yeah, along with all the hardware. So I feel like it's going to be quite the uptick in content that we're going to be shipping out on hardware and new games,
Dude,
and I'm here for it. I'm
just
very excited.
buckle up, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. About to get
yeah.
crazy.
Speaking of new content, we are in the process of scheduling a returned guest to bring him on the show,
Oh
do a
yeah.
little bit of a special, get an update, see what it's like to be a content creator this day and age, his growth metrics, how he's been doing, and so keep an eye out for that. We don't have everything set in stone yet, so we're not going to give you an official date, but it's in the works. So,
Oh yeah.
guest
You will
coming.
you will see soon enough. I will say that.
Yes, sir. hmm So, I think we pretty much covered everything we wanted to cover for this week. Do you have anything left, Kyle?
We got it all. We gotta get these people out of here. We've been had them for an hour and a half
Yeah.
now. Get 'em
That's a
out.
fact. Well, if you
Woo.
made it, comment below.
Oh yeah.
Please
Let us
let
know.
us know.
You make it
Let
to
us
the
know if
end.
you made it this
For the
far.
real ones, man.
We're if you make it this far, we're pinning the comment. And you comment
Exactly.
about it,
Like, you know what?
we're pinning the comment.
What should they comment? Like, let's give them a word that they wouldn't otherwise know,
Oh,
unless
that's on you. That's on you.
they wouldn't otherwise know. Um, you know, Wumpa fruit. There you go. Little
Wumpa fruit?
dude. Do you know it's oh, what is that game? I literally know the fruit, but not the game. I'm a freak. Thinking of
Wumpa fruit?
oh my gosh. I actually am
Sounds
blanking
like
out.
Oompa Loompa, dude. Wumpa fruit collection. Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Why am I blanking out like that? Anyway, Crash
I
Bandicoot.
don't know.
Oh my gosh. Wumpa. Comment Wumpa fruit if you made it this far. I want to see. I want to see something. You
WMPA.
know. I want to see something.
All right,
All right.
well, let's let the people go. Let's let them get back to their daily lives. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. If you had to listen in multiple bits, we totally understand. We appreciate you doing that as well. We're on all the social medias. You can check us out in the description below. We're on YouTube, where you're probably watching this in video format. We're going to try to upload again to Spotify video, but it's been wonky lately.
Yeah.
Um,
Very.
so hopefully that works. And then everybody else that's on like all the 9, 10, 15 other platforms that were uploaded for audio format. We appreciate you too. So thanks
Appreciate
for
y'all.
tuning
Thanks
in.
for listening, everyone.
Yep. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. This is Mr. J.K. Heath, Kyle Heath. We're signing out. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Bye.